Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Celtics Media Day. We are joined now by Jaylen Brown. Jaylen, how was the offseason for you?
Oh, it was fantastic. Had a great time. Had a very, very efficient summer.
I know last season we spoke about just kind of the discipline that you did during last offseason for yourself, kind of fasting and everything. Was that part of it this offseason as well?
Absolutely. I think I took it to other levels in the sense of just what made sense for me. And I'm excited about this year. I think we had a great unit, great team, great coach, great front office. I think we're if we do things right, we can make something special happen.
When you say take it to another level, what do you mean?
Just not in the sense of doing something more extreme, just in terms of like myself and my own growth and my own growth process, what makes sense for me. And it could be anything, like whatever makes sense for you could make sense for you. It doesn't have to be big or small, but in terms of just understanding, in terms of growth and things like that, I made some jumps.
Now, you took us all along for the ride with you a little bit this summer in everything that you did. You went to Indonesia. You put a lot of work in on the court, which we got to see through some workouts.
Mm-hmm.
You worked out with Tracy McGrady,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. What did you take out of that? What did you learn from Tracy McGrady, who, for you young people out there, that man could put the ball through the basket when he was on the court?
Absolutely. And Tracy McGrady is my all-time favorite, who I would model myself after in the driveway when I was 13, 14 years old. So being able to connect with him and him give me advice was like an unbelievable moment for me, in terms of him just instilling some of the stuff and some of the keys that he's learned throughout his experience. He's a Hall of Famer. So for him to be able to pull me to his side and invite me to his house was a really big deal for me, and it was something that I'll never forget.
Was there a piece of advice that maybe
Can you share anything? Not a secret, but
it was so much. Like it could be anything. It could be about life. He talked to me about life, about injuries. He talked to me about marketing. He talked to me about everything. Like he was just like, I'm gonna just put everything into you, and I really appreciated that, and I had a great time with it.
But if there's someone on this team that can soak all that info up, I think it's you. I do think that's you. Talk a little bit more about the work. You worked out back home at your high school in Georgia, and you said that kind of brought you back to your roots of putting in the hard work. How did that affect your summer and the work that you put in?
For me, I love going back to my roots. I love going back to Georgia. I love going back to the Atlanta area, Marietta, same place that the energy that I needed to make it out. It's not the easiest place to make it out of, So it's extremely motivating. It's extremely inspiring. So when in terms of getting ready for this next upcoming season, I wanted that same type of energy. A lot of times I feel like guys go to certain places and they get kind of complacent or they feel established. I wanted the same energy that kind of got me inspired and got me motivated. I wanted to be just as motivated this year. So I always like going back to my roots.
That's awesome.
As you look ahead, Jaylen, towards this season, you said when we were able to catch up with you at Summer League, and you said that you wanted LeBron to stay in the East. You wanted to be the team that would go through him. What are your thoughts now in just how the East looks and LeBron going to the Lakers and joining the West?
It's tough. People make comments about the East and the West. I think the East is just as good as the West. I think the West maybe has more individual all-stars maybe, but I think the East has just as many good teams. So it's not going to be easy on either side, to make it to the finals or to make it to wherever you want to make it to. So for us, we just got to make sure we cover all our bases and enjoy the process. Like we all want to be at the mountaintop, but the climbing the mountain is where you have the most growth and when you learn the most.
Now, you talk about the finals. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this. But on the pull-up pod, you got a lot of attention from what you said in terms of, you said that this Celtics team is no doubt going to the NBA Finals. Why were you comfortable making that statement? Because I think a lot of people would say, okay, now you've put some pressure on your shoulders and the team's shoulders, but why were you comfortable saying that publicly?
I think anybody else would say the same thing. I think that's the mindset that we have. I mean, it's not set in stone, of course. We have to put in the work and do everything that's possible for us to make it there. But my mindset is that we're going to get there, no doubt about it.
I hope so. I haven't been there since 2010, so take me back, please.
Jaylen, something else that I wanted to talk to you about is I know that you do a lot of work just with the tech kind of branching that with technology and education. Why at the age of 21 are you wanting to be involved? I know that you went back, you spoke at Harvard, and just trying to get involved and have a voice.
I think I would like to refer to myself as young. I say
You are young.
I'm
You
young.
are
Not-
young.
not mentally, though.
I feel
Not
old.
mentally.
I feel old. But
I feel old.
you look great. You look great.
She's a year older today. It's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank
birthday,
you.
Amanda
Thank
Fugate.
you.
Yeah, happy birthday. I would just say youth, I think, is like the biggest leverage, like as of now. Like the youth, everybody wants to be a part of like what they think the future is. So me being a young person, I just take advantage of that in terms of like just expressing my thoughts and my ideas from my generation and combining it and being mature enough to be in a space of people a lot older than me. And I think that's what people celebrate, and that's why people reach out to me, because I feel like I can handle that exchange. I think that's probably the main reason why I'm able to do a little bit of the things that I've done so far.
And you did the event at All-Star Weekend again. How much does that help with the development of what you're saying, that you're capable of doing those things? I mean, doing that for multiple years now.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about building a Rolodex. So I have like resources and stuff, and I've combined resources and added, put people together and things like that. It's just been a good exchange of information just in general. And that's what I kind of feed off of. I like learning new things. I like experiencing new things I don't know that I'm uncomfortable with. I like it. Like I embrace that. You know what I mean? I embrace the uncomfortableness of not knowing things or not being good at something, because eventually, give me a few weeks or a few days, I'm gonna pick it up pretty quick.
I know someone you could learn a little something from, and that's new Hall of Famer Jason Kidd. I mean, how cool was that to see a fellow alum from Cal getting into the Hall of Fame this summer?
And mentor, man. Jason Kidd was a part of my process coming out from the draft, man. He was like a sense of eyes and ears for me. He shot me straight in terms of just like understanding like what position you're in and what you're trying to do. Like Jason Kidd was one person that I could lean on, not even just during that process, during the school year and things like that. He would just shoot me little things to help me stay focused. So seeing him is a major congratulations to him, and I'm super happy for him, and I'm sure the rest of the Bears in California are happy as well.
So you've got a bunch of Hall of Famers in your Rolodex. We've talked about two of
I
them
don't
here.
like to
so
brag, but
A
maybe.
few.
That's a nice
Isaiah,
Rolodex at 21.
Tracy, Jason Kidd, yes, it's a few.
That's great.
Jaylen, you talk about wanting to connect with people. We're actually letting the fans connect with you through this. They're
Okay.
using the hashtag Celtics Media Day, and we have bleedgreen_17 that wants to know, last year your shot improved dramatically. What have you focused on specifically this offseason?
That's a good question, Brian. That's a great question for me. Free throws is one. Ball handling and playmaking ability, being able to make plays for others, is some of the things that I've really focused on this year, and I'm thinking you're going to see it improving.
Free throws is the really interesting thing to me, because you shot 40% from three last season, but you did have some struggles at the line. Why do you think that existed in your game last season? Because it hasn't always been a problem for you.
Right. I think it's just mental. I think when you just get up there, the easiest shot in the world, you make hard, and that's just a story of my life. Like, stuff that's hard I make look easy, and stuff that's easy I make it harder than what it needs to be. So just trying to kind of getting out of your own way, you know what I mean? Just relaxing instead of tensing up, just taking a deep breath and being like, you know, it's really easy if you make it easy, and it's hard if you make it hard. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, and not even just free throws in life.
Yep, no doubt.
You know, so for me, that's one thing I just focused on, and we're going to see some improvement this year.
I make everything hard on myself.
Me too.
Nothing's
me too.
easy.
And that's what I wanted to ask. I know, how much does meditation kind of play into your game, as visualizing and then going out on the court to perform?
Plays a big role. I mean, I've been meditating for over 5 or so years now, and it started off with me just taking 5 or 10 minutes to myself and just getting my thoughts organized and getting my thoughts clear, so I can just be able to maneuver. A lot of the times, like, we're always on the go, and sometimes we need to just like take 10 minutes to ourselves to just relax, take a deep breath, and get our days kind of laid out, you know. So that's what's kind of helped me, and I've kind of grown it from there. But just taking 10 minutes to myself to kind of just relax and tell myself what I need to hear to kind of get myself going has helped me tremendously.
And I'm looking to expand in that. What apps would you recommend for that?
There's a bunch of mindfulness apps. Some are in the works or some are being worked on, but there is so many. I don't even want to pinpoint some of them, but there's some good ones. I'll give them to you as the
Okay,
year goes
all
on.
right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, everyone. That was Jaylen Brown. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. We can't wait to see you
Looking forward
at
to
training
it.
camp tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Jaylen.